Hi everyone, this is Action Figure Talk Then and Now. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I'm sure you're all watching the Star Wars movies, TV shows, listening to the radio dramas, the audiobooks, reading books, all that kind of fun stuff. Looking for deals right now, because there's a lot of deals going on right now online, so you want to get on that. So I've been thinking what would be something to talk about since I have this YouTube channel and I'm still getting the hang of the YouTube thing. So I figured, why not talk about my very first Star Wars collectible and how I got into Star Wars. My grandpa showed me a videotape of Star Wars that he recorded off TV. I'm guessing this would have been around the end of the 80s when I first saw Star Wars. And my dad had shown me Return of the Jedi, and I didn't really understand anything about it. I liked it. I liked the Ewoks, and I still love the Ewoks. Let me tell you, I don't like them. I love Ewoks. And I didn't really get it, but my grandpa showed me A New Hope. Just the beginning, when you see R2 and 3PO on the Rebel Blockade Runner, I was amazed because I'd never seen robots like that before. And the space fights and everything, I just loved everything about it. So it wouldn't be until a couple years later, I was at a Goodwill with my grandma, because on Saturdays, she would take me to Goodwill with her because my parents were working, so they would babysit me. And up on the top shelf, I'm walking around there, and I saw Stormtrooper. And I remembered this guy from the movie Star Wars. I didn't know what he was called, really. I couldn't necessarily remember all that stuff, after all being a little kid. But I knew he was from Star Wars. And I wanted him. She bought him for me. Sadly, his foot was broken, as it still is. This foot's cracked. I put tape on it, which stained it. I still haven't gotten around to wanting to restore him, because this is what he looked like. You know, this is how I remember him. This is, like I said, a big part of my childhood, my memories, like the very first Star Wars item. And I still love this guy. I do. Just good memories, because my grandparents were always in the hunt for Star Wars toys for me, because they'd go to the flea markets, auctions, garage sales, Goodwill, of course, all those places. I remember later on, my grandpa actually bought me the Slave One, and the funny thing was, I don't think I'd really seen The Empire Strikes Back yet, so I didn't know that it was actually a Star Wars item, but something about it made me think it's from Star Wars, so that was really cool. Anyway, so it wouldn't be until years later I would learn more about Star Wars stuff. There was a collector shop, and this guy had a whole bunch of Star Wars figures. It was actually in his mother's basement of her beauty shop. And there was R2-D2. That's what I really wanted. R2-D2 and 3PO have always been my favorite Star Wars characters, especially to collect. My mom bought me the Sensor Scope R2-D2, which, like a lot of little kids, got destroyed over the years because I had the bright idea of putting him in the bathtub, in the snow, in the mud. But you know what? He was played with. It meant he was loved. A lot of good memories with that figure. I have a replacement one, of course. But I would get some deals in there. The guy would let me have the figures for $3 a piece. When I was at Walden Books, you know, it's funny. I'm always talking about going to bookstores because there was no internet back in those days. You would have to go to a bookstore. So I'm at the bookstore, and it was a Saturday night. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, wow, that's really weird that I can remember all these different times and days and stuff like that. Well, that's how my memory works. It works with toys for some reason. I can remember everywhere I was at when I got something. It's the strangest thing. Anyway, this book, From Script to Screen to Collectible. Everywhere I went, I took this with me. Because, as you all know, this has everything in it. But what really focused my attention as a little kid, this picture of all these Star Wars figures. I would look at this for hours and hours and dream of owning a lot of these figures. I mean, the book has everything in it. Well, not everything. The Max Rebo band's not in there, but I never had any of the rare figures. The only rare figure I own is an Imperial Gunner that my brother gave me. And I remember he got that one with a trade. He traded a kid, I don't know, it might have been a G.I. Joe or something. It wasn't really worth anything because the kid didn't like Star Wars, so he traded it. And then years later, he'd wind up giving it to me. And, yeah, just good times growing up with Star Wars. I'll admit, I miss those days before eBay. When you would go to a collector's store and look for that treasure or a garage sale. And because when I was a kid, my grandma and grandpa would look for Star Wars figures for me. My aunt would look for Star Wars figures for me. My mom had a friend who gave my brother and I almost a complete set of Star Wars trading cards. And a lot of those, of course, went missing over the years. But I don't know. It was a different time. It really was. I mean, I would just get even all excited when Galoob came out with the micro machines and all that fun stuff. Like, because it was Star Wars, it was something at least. And the other thing, like, there was one dream collectible, ironically, in this book. I know you're all thinking, well, what is it going to be? Is it going to be the blue Snaggletooth, rocket firing Boba Fett? Nope. I wanted something totally different. I wanted the Ewok Village when I was a kid. This was my main obsession to want. I know a lot of you are thinking, the Ewok Village, of all things. Yes, the Ewok Village. And I would wind up getting the Ewok Village. Actually, I think I didn't get Ewok Village until 1999, I believe it was. But, no, I would take this book with me everywhere, and I would just dream of owning a lot of these figures, because I couldn't find them, because there was no eBay at the time. You know, you had flea markets and garage sales and thrift stores, but I couldn't find, like, all the stuff I was really, really after. But, you know, the book, it just was something I love, you know, and dreaming of owning these figures, because the guy at the collector shop told me that Kenner was going to bring back the Star Wars figures. Well, that wouldn't be until 1995, and I think this would have been 89, 90, and I remember going to, like, Walmart, and I would see all these action figures, and I was always hoping to go down an aisle and see Star Wars figures brought back. And I remember once I got so excited, and it was Stargate and Sequest, but from the distance, it looked like it could have been Star Wars figures. And of course, you know, in 95, that's when we got our Star Wars figures, finally. I don't think I really want to count the Bendums, because those weren't really action figures, but they had charm to them. But, yeah. I don't know. It was an interesting time before eBay, because you had to look for this stuff, and the value wasn't up on a lot of this. So you could just get it without having to spend a whole lot of money. I don't know, those to me were good times. You know, I look back at it and I do enjoy those times of collecting the Star Wars figures, because, you know, it's weird thinking of a time when there was no internet. And, you know, now you can just go on eBay and type and everything, and you can find exactly what you're looking for. Back then, it was the adrenaline rush, going into a collector shop or somewhere, and then when you see that treasure, and you're like, oh, it's so cool, and I must have it, and you'd get it, and you'd just be excited. Well, that's really it. I just want to do something quick, just, you know, sharing some Star Wars memories. I hope you're all enjoying the holiday. Please like and subscribe. I have some really cool stuff in mind that I'm doing. That's why I haven't been posting as much, because I've been learning more about how to do the YouTube thing and all this. But I don't know. I think you're all going to get a kick out of some of the stuff I have in mind. So anyway, may the 4th be with you. This is Action Figure Talk Then and Now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.